Hey, this is the C&D channel. I'm Chris. This is Dave, and this is MMA for you. We're going to be doing our predictions for Bellator 65, which is going to happen on April 13th on MTV2. As far as the card goes, I mean, we got a title fight, we got a welterweight qualifier on the prelims, a featherweight, semifinal, and two bantamweight quarterfinals. What do you think of this card, Dave?
I think this card is very competitive. I mean, a lot of main card is basically. I think we have a differences with all these main card. You just
Yeah, man.
they are hard to tell.
Yeah, man. A lot of these fights, there's stylistic differences with some of them, but in other ones, there's stylistic similarities. So, it's gonna be really interesting. Now, why don't we just get to it, man?
Let's just get to it.
Okay, fun size. Zach Makovsky is gonna defend his bantamweight title against Eduardo Dudu Dantas.
Well, this fight is again, like you say, it's such tough fight. But I think it's Zach. I pick Zach because 14-2 records, very good record, one TKO, six submission. With that kind of detail, you already know this is a grappler. Very strong wrestling, very fast.
Oh yeah.
And wrestle. A good wrestling is deadly. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
then good cardio. Then have a good BJJ. So we know this guy. What he gonna do is he gonna take you down, top control, and then try to submit you if he needs to.
Yeah, man. I do like Zach Makovsky, but I like Dudu a little more. One thing about Zach, though, like you said, expanding more on that, he wants him to fight like Ed West. I mean, just take down, take down, take down. He's so quick about it, too. In his last fight, he won by a north-south choke.
Beautiful.
So that's the thing. But Dudu here, man, this is a guy who flying knee to Austin Hayes. He's just really good. 6 fight win streak. Trains at Nova União. Who also has good cardio, but a guy who's pulling off flying knees has some good Muay Thai. He's shown some pretty good takedown defense. I think against like Ed West, he showed that. And his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu trained with Nova União. It's just all those guys have great Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he's only 23 years old. I think Dudu is one of the rising prospects to look out for. I like Makovsky. I think he's just a little undersized for the weight class. I gotta go with Dudu to win this one.
Yeah, I think you can understand where you're coming from, but my point of view is Zach, his agility, his wrestling, and his BJJ, the combination. If he does get a chance, I mean, the decision can sway to his way very easily.
Okay, cool. Well, next fight after that, we have Mike Corey versus Daniel Strauss.
Well, I pick Mike Cordy here again. 12-2. The record's good. One TKO, six submission, another grappler, and again strong wrestling, good top control, good BJJ. I say the same thing I say about Zach. This fight, he could do. He could just wrestling, top control, submit if he needs to. If not, then just go for decision.
But you're going up against Daniel Strauss, man, who has that exact same game plan in every fight. He's a grinder, and just like Corey, these guys are mirrors of each other. They're both big for the weight class. They're both like strong wrestlers with more of like a grinding style to them as well. You saw that. You saw that when Corey upset Ronnie Man. Daniel Strauss. Both these guys have been making strides in their stand up. Daniel Strauss in his last fight. I'm trying to think who it was against. Showed some improved stand up. I think he was just finding. I forgot if he's southpaw or not, but his cross was finding a home all night. Daniel Strauss, he doesn't care about grinding either. 11 of his wins are by decision, and he doesn't care. Honestly, he just doesn't care that's the case. He's always in the fight. I think stylistically, they're both the same guy. They're kind of the same guy. I think Strauss has been doing it, what he's been doing, a little longer against higher level competition. Of course, that Ronnie Man fight, that was a really strong opponent for Corey to beat. And he got a draw with Chris Rodesky, too. So it's going to be interesting just from how they mirror each other.
Definitely, and then again, for audience perspective, is it's gonna be a close fight. It's gonna be either way, and I mean, you just gotta see who is the better of a grinder.
Yep,
That's
exactly.
pretty much it.
Cool. Next, right after that, for the bantamweight quarterfinal, we have Ed Wild West versus Marcos Galvao.
Again, I take at West. Since I take it, all the people who just come on, but the reason I take it at West in here is I think this one has a little bit better than it's like a combination for the other two who I just talked about. This 17-6 records, 9 submission, 8 decisions. So good on BJJ.
Mm-hmm.
Also good grinder.
Mm-hmm.
Top control, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Not much power standing, but the good thing I like this at is he used a lot of kicks.
Mm-hmm.
Fast kick, to get his leeway, and then when he has time, boom, he take you down. I mean, he basically has what Mike doesn't have. He can draw some kick. He can draw some, power. I'm not saying he will knock, anybody down. I'm just saying that he can create extra damage.
Cool. Well, that's the thing. Both these guys are kind of mirrors of each other in the same way, in the sense that they're not the strongest finishers, in a sense. Galvao has 9 decisions out of 10 wins. Ed West has 8 decisions out of 17 wins, but 9 subs as well. That's not to say that Marcos Galvao doesn't have a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu game. He trains Nova União. His takedown defense is really good too. You watch his fight against like Joe Warren, for example, or the Chase Beebe fight. Really good fight there. Yeah, it's really good takedown defense, and he's made some strides standing too. It's not like he is terrible stand up or anything. A lot of people also thought that Galvao beat Alexis Vila as well. He has, good takedowns. He has more of the jiu-jitsu style takedowns, improving stand-up, and strong Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I gotta go with Marcos Galvao to win this one. Even though, funny thing with Galvao is he tends to get screwed in Bellator sometimes. Like against Alexis Vila, a lot of people thought Galvao should have won. He didn't. And he totally beat Joe Warren in a super fight, and for some reason it went to Joe Warren. So I'm kind of worried about that, but we'll see how it goes.
Thank you for giving me confidence that Ed West will win this fight.
Okay, finally, for the main card and for the bantamweight quarterfinals, Alexis Vila is gonna fight Luis Nogueira.
Well, if I said it's gonna be the Galvao, then Galvao, is almost the same as Alex, then I definitely won't pick Alex. No, it's kind of long. Long story short, I think Luis gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
Alex is an Olympic wrestler, which is pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he has a very good chance to win.
Mm-hmm.
He has a good one punch KO power, which
Mm-hmm.
is totally different than most wrestlers. Because he has a chance to knock you out.
Mm-hmm.
Some wrestlers just pure one dimensional wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Only problem I don't like was with him is he's too old, 41 years old.
It doesn't stop Dan Henderson.
I know. I'm just saying. What my concern is, Luis, he is young. He's very young, and he has 12-2 record, 4 KO, TKO, 2 submission. So it makes him like he can do both. I don't know how great it is, but That tells me he can punch and then he can submit. Good striking, good wrestling, good BJJ, very well rounded. So when you face a very rounded guy, you give me, I like wrestler, but I like well rounded person better. The only lose is to who did he lose to? He lost at West.
Ed West and Eduardo Dudu Dantas.
And then they are all top. They are pretty top notch fighters. So I say that's why I pick Luis. I think he will win this fight because he well rounded. Olympic wrestling is good, but the age is my concern, and how the application using Olympic wrestling to a realistic fighting with a kick, power striking. That's another test.
Well, we'll see how it goes. But one thing I like about Alexa Villa, he's only like officially lost to Eduardo Dudu Dantas himself. In that fight, he did show some cardio issues, and actually in the Galvo fight, he did. So I'm a bit worried about that. You watch the Joe Warren fight, one punch KO power. He does have good. He does have good boxing though. I mean, it's not like he's throwing too many haymakers or anything. Sometimes he does, but he does have good boxing. And like I said, Olympic level wrestling. It's good for his takedown defense, at the very least, and he's been wrestling his whole life. That's the thing. He's kind of small for a bantamweight, but yeah, I like the guy. The combination of good boxing with one punch KO power, along with wrestling, I think is a good recipe, despite his age, to win this fight.
Okay.
Okay. On to the prelims. For the welterweight qualifier, we have Levon Maynard versus former Bellator welterweight champion Lyman Good.
Well, I'm thinking Lyman Good will win this one.
Yeah, I got Lyman Good winning this one as well. He seems like he's been in Bellator forever. Well, because he was a former champion. He's only 26 years old. His striking's good. Like against like Rick Hahn, for example, he's striking a lot with him, and it was just a good stand-up battle. He did show to be a little too content off his back, which is one of his problems. He saw that against Rick Hahn.
But I don't think it will be any problem with this fight.
Yeah, I don't think it's from here, and he definitely showed it against Askren as well. He is trading wins and losses, so I want to say he's coming off a loss, so he should win. I think. I'm not too sure.
You better make sure our calculation is correct.
Which is kind of funny because Levon Maynard's actually trading losses and wins as well. He started with a loss, win. I don't know if he's due for a loss. I need to double check. Levon Maynard, for one, I can never get shake off that one time he got judo thrown by Rick Hahn over Levon's head. He just I forgot what that move's called. He loses a lot by KO and TKO as well. He's a good fighter. Stand up's pretty good. From what I seen. But otherwise, I haven't been very impressed with them. I think Lyman Good should take this one. Okay, next fight after that, Dwayne Bastris is gonna fight Planio Cruz.
What do you think gonna win?
I got Dwayne. He's coming off that big win over Daniel Gracie in his last fight. 4-1, 4-1 record. All 4 wins are by finish. Cruz on the other one, 5-4 record, 2-fight losing streak. Best win. He does have actually a pretty good win over Jay Silva, but otherwise not terribly impressed with him. Okay, next fight after that, Chris the Savage McRae is gonna fight Alton Barboza. Who do you got, man?
Well, on this fight, I think Chris will win.
I'm gonna win, huh?
Yeah, you're gonna win. Because now you fighting.
Well, that's good because I'm picking Alton anyway, so I don't want to get my own ass kicked. So,
Okay. Well, but I think Chris will win because again, he was a former UFC fighter.
Mm-hmm.
I feel well, it's not fair to say, but I feel with the UFC experience that educate a little bit more, and I think that's something Bellator might not give to him. I don't know
Yeah,
whether that's fair to say. I
yeah.
just feel like with UFC environment, you definitely need something different.
Yeah. In the UFC, he fought Court McGee and lost by rear naked choke. Roca, um, Carlos Roca by leg lock. But what's surprising with McRae actually is how well he did against prospect Hathaway, John
Oh yeah,
Hathaway.
John Hathaway.
Yeah, he did really well. He got a split decision loss to him, but he looked really good, and some argued that McRae would actually beat him. So that does say a lot about his abilities.
Hmm. And
Um,
that's why I feel, you know, the first thing. Second, one TKO for submission, 2-5 winning streak.
mhm,
It's gonna be the first time he fought in the Bellator,
mhm.
but the fact that he's a UFC veteran, I don't think it will be a big effect to him. Really good wrestling, decent BJJ. I think it's good to watch.
I agree with Barboza here. Like I said, if you just look at all of McRae's losses are in the UFC.
Mhm.
Two of them are by submission.
Mhm.
You got Barboza, who's out of eight of his 10 wins are by submission. Trains at American Top Team. He is 35, which has concerned me, but otherwise, I see Barboza submitting McRae here.
Well, I do worry about the submission, but once I do have a really good submission,
Mhm.
um, you know, how is this gonna play out? I don't know. I think you know, keep distant, do whatever he can do, be well rounded. That's it. That's it.
Cool. On next fight after that, we have Kenny Foster versus Jay Haas.
Kenny Foster.
Yeah, I mean Kenny Foster is like this Bellator veteran. Uh, he's been on a really bad losing streak, 4 fight losing streak. Honestly, I think Bellator likes him because Jay Haas, I mean, 10-8 record. Um, it's all 8 of his losses are by submission. Not to be mean to Jay Haas, it's not that great. It looks like a very winnable fight for Foster, who does have some good wrestling and some good Brazilian Jiu Jitsu as well. Um, Even with those losses that I mentioned, I mean, they're to Daniel Strauss, Ronnie Man, Joey Gambino, who's like, he's on the Bloody Elbow scouting report, and Alexander Bezeha. They're all really good guys. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, I feel like this is the fight for him to win.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is almost like Bellator's way of giving him like a tune-up fight or a comeback fight. To be honest.
Hey, please win this fight.
Yeah. So next fight after that, we have Lester Castle versus Scott Heckman.
Scott Hackman.
I like Heckman. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised to see this guy in a future Bellator tournament.
Oh wow.
I like the guy. I've been impressed with him. You know,
Now he's doing records, pretty good record.
yeah, good record. He has some solid wrestling.
Very good
Uh,
submission.
yeah, very good submission game. I forgot his wrestling background's pretty good. I want to say it's like an All American or like an NCAA something or another.
Oh, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's just a solid fighter. I've liked what I've seen from Heckman so far.
Very good.
His opponent Lester, he does have a notable win over Andy Main, but the fact of the matter is, in his last 5 fights, he's only won 2 of them. He's lost 3 of his last 5, 7-6 record. It's nothing that's impressive, to be honest.
All right, next.
Okay, next we have Andy Main versus Will Martinez.
Well, Eddie Man.
I'll go with Andy Main. I liked what I saw from him on the Ultimate Fighter. You know, he has a 5-1 record, one no contest. You know, good training camp with AMA. The Millers trained there.
Mm-hmm.
Former UFC champion Frankie Edgar trained there for what? Did he? Yeah, I think he did for a while. I think he changed camps. Charlie Brenneman trains there. A lot of good guys train at AMA. You know, with Martinez, you know, 3-2 record with one draw. He is on a 2-fight win streak. Both of his losses are by submission. But, you know, I'll just go with Andy Main.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Okay. And finally, we have EJ Emmanuel Brooks versus Mikhail Malyutin.
Well, it's another tough fight. I think Brooks will win this fight. He has an undefeated record 5-0.
Mm-hmm.
1 TKO, 2 submission. You know, and that's by on triangle. So still young, 26 years old. Have a lot of you know thing going on. So I think it might be a good choice.
I'll go with Mikhail to win this one. He's an M1 veteran. He has 30 fights. He has approximately, you know, he has 6 times more fights as Brooks, who's actually been doing pretty well in you know, so far in his MMA career. But with, you know, 21-9 record, good win over, you know, in that span he beat like Luis Azeredo as one notable win. M1 veteran. A lot of his fights go to decision. Out of 21 wins, you know, 11 of them are by decision. But he does have 4 wins by KO or TKO and 6 wins by sub. I'll go with Mikhail to win this one.
Okay, let's do a recap.
Okay, recap. So we have champion Zach Makovsky versus Eduardo Dantas.
I picked Zach.
Okay, I got Eduardo Dantas. Okay, next right after that, Mike Corey fights Daniel Strauss.
Mike Corey.
Okay, I got Daniel Strauss. Next right after that, Ed Wild West fights Marcos Galbo.
Wild West.
Okay, I got Marcos Galbo. Okay, and finally, in the main card, Alexis Villa fights Luis Nogueira.
The young Luis will win this fight.
I got Alexis Villa winning that one. Okay, on to the prelims. Lyman Good fights Lavon Maynard.
We both agree Lyman Good.
Okay. Dwayne Bastris fights Plinio Cruz.
Dwayne Bastris.
Yep, we both have Dwayne Bastris. Okay. After that, we have Chris McRae versus Alton Barboza.
I take Chris.
Okay, I got Alton Barboza. Okay, Kenny Foster fights Jay Haas.
Kenny Foster.
Okay. Lester Caslow fights Scott Heckman.
Scott Heckman.
Yep, Scott Heckman there. Okay, Andy Main fights Will Martinez.
Andy Main.
Okay, Andy Main there. And finally, Emmanuel Brooks fights Mikhail Malyutin.
I think it broke.
Okay, I got Mikhail.
Alright.
Alright. Okay, that's pretty much it for our predictions for Bellator 65. If you have any comments, just leave them below. Got anything to say, Dave?
Well, you know, I don't know, you know, when it's happening, but thank you guys for subscribers. I see a new addition. It's really cool. We break 100. We are break 110. Hopefully, we will have 120 very soon. You know, a small step, but it's great to see it. More people are subscribers now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Also of note, I totally forgot to mention this. Obviously, with Alistair Overeem, most likely being out of UFC 146, the card is pretty much full. We just haven't done a prediction for it yet because on April 21st is when Overeem has his hearing, and we'll probably figure out who's gonna fight Junior Dos Santos. So until then, we're not gonna do the UFC 146 predictions yet until until the main event is officially announced.
Absolutely. And if you want to talk about who will fight, not fight, just put out a comment.
Cool. Yeah, man. And that's pretty much it for MMA for you. Thank you guys very much.